All right, welcome back, everybody. This will be our final preview episode. We're going to do the NL awards. This is really loaded for the top two, especially. We have some really nice looking pitchers. This division, or sorry, this league is always just loaded with aces the last few years. So much high end pitching talent. This NL Cy Young is one of the hardest awards to win. I've had a lot of different winners over the years. Patino won as rookie, pulled the Soto and won the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young the 1 year. I think Bueller might have won one back in the day for the Dodgers. Kyle Wright had a couple big years. You got a lot of superstar pitches in Pittsburgh there. Abreu and won one, and you just every year there's been a bunch of different guys. Nate Pearson's always in the running, and you got Adrian Morejon. So ton of names to throw out there. What would be your guess at the final three? I know you're just kind of throwing darts at the board with so many good options. Is there anyone that you think is just in for a big year?
I did this last year. I think thought it was going to be Morahone, and I know he finished up there and close. But every time I look at his profile, I just love it more and more. The fragile tag is obviously scary, but he did lead the league in innings pitched a year ago, so he's definitely a favorite for me. I think the other one is probably Jack Flaherty. Now, this is crazy. He's gotten just wrecked this spring. ERA in the double digits, so that might be a little interesting at 31 if he's starting to trend down. But already a two-time Cy Young winner, so always got to consider him. My third would probably be Patino. He had a little bit of a down year a year ago, which is crazy considering he led the league in ERA, but just how good the NL pitcher pool was a year ago. I think he might not have even finished in the top 5 of the award, leading in ERA because he went 8-12. But with that stuff movement combo, I think you got to consider him for sure. But I'm going to stick with Morahone until he wins one, and just going to say I'm right that 1 year.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. A lefty with that profile is just ridiculous. I'm just looking here. Yeah, I don't think Kyle Wright actually won one. So I think I will go with Kyle Wright. Reason being, he progressed again. He's 31 years old, but he actually, for the first time in his career, is above 65 movement. He's up to 70 movement now. And on top of that, the reason that kind of put me over the edge for picking him, they have upgraded to a 75 range shortstop. So they have Jeff Teague now with crazy ability to scoop up ground balls. So I know that's saying, like, again, Coors, like, you don't want to pick through the Cy Young, but I really just think that Kyle Wright's that special. I think with that adding Pache in the middle of the center field 70 range and adding a 75 range shortstop there to the mix, the rookie, I think really as I think Kyle Wright has a shot at like 78 WAR. So I think he's going to be my number one pick there. I think I love his pick. I think last year Nate Pearson might have been my pick. That might have been 2 years ago. I think Nate Pearson has a really good shot too. I think Jansen really helps him. And now that he's behind the plate, is a really good defender there. Atlanta's going to be a really nasty team. So I think Nate Pearson is up there for me. And then obviously like the guys you picked. And then to add one more name on, I think probably Shane Beaver would be my other pick. Shane Beaver is just so elite. I think he might be the best pitcher in the league still. I had him number one on my power rankings. I think with his control and stuff, the combination, I think he kind of actually got littered up with a few extra home runs last year at 1.4, so I think he's scary enough. I think he might even be better this year again. And his hits are actually up to 9.1 per 9 last year, which is a bit high. So I think Shane Beaver probably bounce back and maybe win another Cy Young this year. Just so many options. And then you got a couple guys have a shot in Washington there, and Matt Manning, and you got Giolito there. It's just so many names across the league. I would love personally to see Ohtani win one. We'll see. He had a really good second half last year. He started off slow, but and then you got some names we probably didn't even go over there that are really good. There's just so many in the NL. It's wild, and we didn't even talk about any of the Giants pitchers. They got a couple guys in the running, and you have a bunch of guys in St. Louis that are looking real nice. Bunch of young guys, especially Vasquez and Cedeno or Cedello. I think just so many guys that have a shot at this award. The Mets have some big arms too. One guy we probably should mention here is Escada. Escada is just insane. I think Escada has a shot too. He had a .9 whip last year, just unbelievable. The guy has the craziest movement control combo of any starter in the league, I'd say. Him and Soroka. Soroka's yet another name too. It's just, literally any of these names
It's crazy.
could get like one whip and probably like 8, 9 strikeouts per nine, and limit the walks and get like 5, 6 WAR. So it's just disgusting how much talent's in the NL pitcher pool. So that's probably the hardest thing to win of any of the awards right now. Is just competing with all those arms. You really need a special season to win that. Let's move on next to the NL MVP. Couple big bats here. A couple guys that are always in the running is Trout and Acuna. And then we had a big new winner last year. I think was it Hudson Potts won the award last year. Pretty sure. So who would
Him
you
or
say?
Soto.
Oh yeah, so did
Yeah.
Soto won it over him? I guess Potts finished second.
Hmm.
So yeah, what do you think this year? You think he'll get a repeat of those top two? I think Soto um, probably played pretty ridiculous last year, getting 10 WAR. It's hard to see him repeating that, but who knows? This profile is pretty nasty. Who do you guys your winner?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Potts is going to miss some time to start the year too. So, just with how talented the NL is, it feels like missing, 10, 15 games could knock you out of consideration. Um, I'm over the old wave of talent. So everyone, Acuna, Otani, Soto. I'm just Trout. I'm out on all of it. So the guys I'm looking at the most are the two shortstops that finished up there last year, and Luke Leto and Robert Puason. Um, the other guy I really liked, I think is going to put up a crazy year, is Zach Veen in Colorado.
Great pick.
Love that offensive profile, and that park is going to be he's just going to wreak havoc there, and he's a great plus plus defender as well in right field. Um, I think I'm going to go with my pick being Robert Puason. I think he was my vote last year just for how he helped the Cardinals so much. But um, my dark horse this year is Cruz Newman for the Reds. Another guy in that stadium. I guess I'm on the Reds train with Morahone and Newman, but um, just broke out in a major way last year. 39 home runs after he struggled in his rookie year. In that ballpark, I think I'd feel pretty confident if he plays a healthy season, he gets to 50 home runs this year.
Yeah, it's a fantastic pick. He's just got such a killer profile offensively there. That eye and contact and home run power is so special. Yeah, fly ball hitter too. So yeah, it should see some huge stats there. I love him and LA and in the future there, and just being there for the next
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 years in the Reds is just gonna be so scary. It's gonna be a really hard team to pitch against. Really excited for that. I think one name I will mention to add on to your pool there. I love the potential that Pache has in center field in Colorado. I think for a lot of different reasons, really his defense and speed and stealing being such a weapon, I think he could have a sneaky MVP season. He had 5.1 WAR season with a he only had a 99 OPS plus when he put up 5.1 WAR. So if his stats get juiced in Coors and he puts up like 130 OPS plus, with how ridiculous his gap power and speed combination is, I could see him hitting like 16 triples, having like 35 doubles, maybe hitting like 279, hitting 23 home runs because they added Coors effect, and stealing 29, 39 bases. I really think he could be in the MVP running. He's just got all the talent in the world. So that'd be kind of a sneaky pick for me. I really like some of those options you gave out. I think Veen, I agree. Just all those Colorado guys. That offense is gonna be
That
so scary.
outfield,
Yeah, it's just so
that
much.
Alec Thomas,
Oh,
Pash, Bean, Sandro Fabian, those four outfielders are that's such a good group. I mean,
any
that's
one of them could
especially
hit.
for that stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so special. Like that's one of the most talented offensive hitting groups I've ever seen. Should be like you said, you could just plug any of those guys in to hit like 130 OPS plus. All four of them. Just it's crazy, crazy those the talent that Colorado's built up there. Colorado's really turning into a powerhouse team, that's for sure, with good pitching and defense
Mm-hmm.
too. I think. Just trying to think of any names we might have missed. I know my guy Tatis is always up there. He had a really down year last year. He's probably as talented as anyone in the league, and he had a terrible down year and only hit 260 last year, and he still had 6.3 WAR season, 130 OPS plus. So he should bounce back and probably hit like 280 with his 80 contact rating. So he'll definitely be in the running. And Acuna, all those East guys, Acuna and Tatis there just are so talented, and then Soto. Those big three in the East are just so scary. I really think any of those guys can just pull it out too. So if I have to pick here, I won't be biased. I won't go with any of my guys, and I can't give it to any of my division rivals. So I'll throw the pick out there, and I'm just going to take the wild card pick. I love that Pache pick. Pache or Trout would be my picks. I love my boy Trout in Arizona there, and I'm really rooting for him to just hold on as long as he can in center field there at 35 years old, still that 65 range. Gotta love it. So I'll roll with those two as my pick. I'll actually go with Trout. I'll give the veteran some respect there and give Trout the pick over Pache. But yeah, a bunch of guys to keep an eye on. That's just what a hoot NL is talent wise. Just so many high end guys pitching and hitting wise. So should be a really fun year for both those awards. Do you want to run us off? We just had the two big candidates for Rookie of the Year. I know we were looking over the rookie class earlier, and there's not nearly as many good candidates that jumped off the page for me in the NL right off the bat as it was the NL as the AL. But the two names that Tyler and me picked out were Ben Jackson, Atlanta, and Jeff Teague, Colorado. And was there one more we missed? I think those two were kind of our top picks.
Tristo for the Dodgers.
Right.
Ruben Tristo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you just want to talk about those guys quickly here at the end of the episode and kind of their chances there.
Yeah, starting with Tristo. So he's number 13 prospect. Going to play at 6'6", going to play a really good first base. The profile is starting to get built out, and it's a guy who kind of moved his way through the minors after coming over from Cleveland. Hit near 1,000 OPS in AAA to end his year. So probably the biggest time bat potential, kind of like the Peters pick in the AL, is probably going to be Tristo for the Dodgers. Who are the other couple?
Oh yeah, we got Jeff Teague there in Colorado, I think.
Oh yeah. Obviously, a good defender. He's hitting the crap out of the ball in spring training, which is nice to see. He's got some gap power too, which will obviously play there. It won't strike out a lot, so. Especially when these end up getting sorted by WAR total, he could be way up there for sure. And I think the last was for the Braves, correct?
Yeah, I think we said Ben Jackson, right?
Yeah, Ben Jackson. So obviously a good outfielder there. Extremely solid across the board. Doesn't do really like anything to wow, but is going to put the ball in play a ton. And he's going to be an elite defender with the 70 range and 80 outfield arm. So some fun ones there. There's a lot of like pitching prospects at the top that are just not starting up, so it's tough to project. Guys like R.J. Larry for Washington, Jake Napolitano for Pittsburgh is another one. Two guys who, to me, look very MLB ready, so maybe it's just a service time thing, but we could see them up quickly and having a big impact too.
Yeah, I really can't get over when you're talking about Ben Jackson there, how much he reminds me of Andrew Jones there in center field for Atlanta with that 80 arm. Andrew Jones probably the strongest arm I've ever seen in my life from an outfielder, and the dude just threw missiles. So I think an 80 rated arm is so rare from a center fielder. There's a couple of right fielders that have had 80 arms over the years. I know Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton used to get those 80 ratings in the old TLG games, or the old out of the park games, but having an 80 arm, I can't wait to see how many outfield assists he gets. What a weapon that is. So I think that would be really exciting to watch. And yeah, I agree with those pitchers. There's a couple of really high end guys, but I know Pittsburgh try and save some money there with that low budget. Probably hold down Napolitano, but those stats you point out are so crazy what he did in spring training here. I'm just seeing zeros all across the board and runs, earned runs, and home runs. Ridiculous strikeout numbers too. God damn.
Yep.
What a monster. So that was a huge pickup trade a couple of years ago. It's looking pretty lopsided now. That was just last year, actually, for that third baseman. So what a progression he's had post-trade there. What a pickup for Pittsburgh there. So a really fun episode there. I really like some of those award picks, and it's just so many names. It's always really hard to figure out who will win, but it's just fun talking about all those potential winners when it comes to the Cy Young and the MVP. And just that really just stands out to me is just I can't get over that how loaded that class is for the NL Cy Young. It's just an insane group. So it's going to be so fun to see who can stay injury-free this year and produce big numbers and lead their team to wins. So last year was a big wild card was that San Francisco picture. Wang had that. It led the league in WAR for most of the season. I don't even think he's one of the 15, 20 names we mentioned. So just even guys like that are just, falling out of favor there. And just because there's so many guys, but they still have a shot too for sure. So see who jumps up and has like a Jackson Rutledge type season, jumps up into the 4 WAR
Michael
type.
Bay.
So. Yeah, so a lot of good options. So that'll be it for our awards guesses. We'll see how wrong we are by the end of the year. I'll try to do a better job. Maybe after the episode here, I'll write down all the and have a little bit of stuff written down so we don't forget who our award picks were and see where we were right and how many we were wrong on. So that was a lot of fun, Tyler. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoyed it, man.
All right, see you guys.